South Park sucks now?
Yeah, everyone knows it. South Park sucks now. And it's because of all this political shit.
I just wanted to tell you that I regret this segment already. Okay, I regret it. But South Park did wrap up, and I watched it all.
I give up.
Can't blame you. I went into this season, you can go back and watch the videos, with optimism. I thought that first one with Trump as Saddam, yes, it was tired anti-Trump comedy. We've seen that a million times, but I thought the Saddam angle was kind of creative. I thought it'd be a one-off. If there was a lot of heat on it, they just signed their big special. I thought the whole thing with Jesus being like, you don't want to get sued. Like, I thought that stuff, that all made me laugh. And so I was like, oh, this is exciting. And they do the Charlie Kirk thing. And you and I talked a lot about that. We're like, this feels like it's kind of not quite, like it doesn't really understand the thing that it's parodying. And I think that's when and that was Christy Noem and stuff. And that's when you stopped, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I saw the AI one too.
Okay.
I didn't like it as much as you. And I think I stopped there. I was just basically like... And then, because I watch other things, I watch Beavis and Butthead, I watch Smiling Friends, and I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. Like, so something's missing with South Park. So my time is precious. I had to let it go.
Fair enough, because I thought it was South Park's worst season, and it's not even close. I mean, it was it was a terrible season of South Park. I'm saying that in spite of, there's a few things I kind of stand behind. This whole thing about, they'll make fun of Trump, but they won't make fun of Biden and Kamala. I understand the rationale behind that, because it's not as though those political figures didn't have a lot to mock and a lot to parody. But it's also, I was like, well, this administration has a lot to parody too. And so if the timing didn't work out with the last one, and the timing didn't work out with the last one, it's like, well, but they've made fun of liberals a billion times. Like, so I really kind of felt like they don't have to prove to you their political bona fides. I didn't think so. I kind of reject that they have to do a checkboxing exercise to make sure that they keep up their credibility. It's always best artistically to just follow the thing that's inspiring you to laugh, right? And if Biden didn't happen to inspire an idea, then you don't do an obligatory Biden episode just to prove your neutrality. And I feel like the track record speaks for itself, obviously. That last video we did about South Park, I went through every single example I could think of, and I'm sure I missed some. One of the biggest problems with the season at large, they got rid of Tegrity Farms and they replaced it with unfunny Donald Trump.
So that was a thread throughout the whole thing was going back to that.
The whole thing was that he's with Satan. It's not 1999. It's not that funny. It's not Saddam. It just doesn't have that Satan and Saddam sting that it had in 99. And he's pregnant with a butt baby, a demon butt baby that Trump impregnated him with.
I'm pregnant.
Look, I'm not going to tell you that nothing made me laugh. They kept making fun of Fox News, and every time they cut to Fox News, there'd be a stinger, that graphic, and Trey would go, "This is a Fox News alert," just kind of mocking the
Fox News alert is funny.
This is a Fox News alert.
But the whole thing was Satan's going to have the baby, and Trump doesn't want the baby, and J.D. Vance is going to help Trump not have the baby, and so J.D. Vance and Trump are having sex.
What?
It was just so unfunny. Dead horse beating shit, man. I would liken it to Tegrity
I don't even think the ladies on The View would like that. I don't think they'd find that funny.
It's really just unfunny. Every time they cut to the White House, I'm like, fuck. Very much the way you feel when they cut to Tegrity Farms. Same sort of thing where I'm like, okay, so that's all you got now in your 50s, right? All you got is, we'll annoy you with a joke. There's a trollish, there's always been a trollish kind of goes left when you want them to go right.
Yeah. And they had that whole thing where it's the rule of 47 or something, whatever it is. It's or it's not the rule of 3. We nail the joke so many times that eventually you laugh because we've done it so much.
I'm afraid not. It really distracted and disrupted the season. There's a deeper problem than that, which just the repetitiveness and the kind of the lack of commentary. Because ultimately, I don't even really know what the commentary is supposed to be. And by the way, just spoilers, it leads up to a Christmas finale. And the whole thing was the Woodland Critter Christmas are going to abort the baby. Because the whole time, the whole season is supposed to be what's this baby? And what's the whole thing with the butt baby? And then it's we're the Woodland Critter Christmas, because they did the fucking Satan's spawn back then. They're unfortunately, the baby hung himself in the womb. All the security cameras were turned off. So it's a weak Epstein joke. And that's the only place that the whole season, all this time you spent with the show went. So on the one hand, it feels like they're out of step. It feels like they don't know what's funny about who.
Yeah. A touch, a little bit.
But on the other hand, they're making deep cut political references that, like, I think very few people are in touch with. Like, people don't know Barr, the FCC dude, right? They're making fun of him.
Oh, yeah. I know, like, they did references, like, I remember back in the day, it was Janet Reno with the Elian Gonzalez thing and stuff like that.
That was like a political moment. That was on, like, the cover of Time magazine. And
yeah. It's like such a deep cut. It's like, I don't know. I don't think the audience in general will know this.
like is even like, do you think that even Pam Bondi, people even really kind of are paying attention to Pam Bondi?
I don't think so. I don't know.
She's all over this. Like I said, like there's some stuff, like they had, I think it was Donald Jr. He was like all smiles and he was like taking phone calls from like gambling sites and
that's all funny.
Yeah, it was funny. There was one episode, I'm going to say there was one episode that I think was maybe worth a repeat watch, which was the Halloween one. Jimmy was trying to, there's no regulation around cryptocurrency right now, so we can take advantage. And they were doing like some kind of seance, and Pam Bondi had shit on her nose the whole time because she's a brown noser. It was a little funny. There was like some, and that was the one where Stan was like, "Hey guys, South Park sucks now. Did you guys know that South Park sucks now?" Talking about like the town, and he was like, "Yeah, because we got all political and shit, so we suck now." So they were being like a little bit self-referential.
Yeah,
but they certainly didn't learn from it. So Sycophancy, I think that's a third episode of season 27. I think that was my favorite one. That's the one where they kill Tegrity Farms. He ends up moving into a nursing home for the rest of the season. So Stan and his family now live in a nursing home. But this was Randy wanted to turn his farm into like basically like a tech startup with like with AI.
This is the K-hole and stuff like that. Right?
So he's microdosing K. And ultimately, the reason I thought the episode was ultimately really funny was because his wife like ended up like while he was like in a K-hole, she started acting like Chat GPT, just was very agreeable and offering to do the next thing. I think Chat GPT humor is a little funny.
Would you like me to start laying out some exit strategies for you, with a focus on retaining any assets you might still have?
Yeah, could you do that?
And then they had Walk is Dead, like Woke is Dead. But the idea was like City Walk is now a Labubu store, and Butters was roped into buying a Labubu. And it's at this episode that they started to go deeper with like Jesus is the new counselor. And so like Jesus is really, because he became the guidance counselor in the first episode in place of Mr. Mackey. So he's starting to he's trying to kind of win the culture back a little bit. I don't remember this one at all. Episode 5, Conflict of Interest. After a predictive market app sweeps through the school, Kyle and Cartman clash over a bet about Kyle's mom. They're all betting whether or not Kyle's mom is going to bomb Iran, I think. And then she goes to Israel and she tells off Netanyahu. She's like, you're making Jews look bad. Yeah, that's what happened.
I don't even know what to do with that.
It just doesn't fucking feel like South Park, man.
It just doesn't feel like it works. It's like
5 to 10% of it is that's the start of a South Park episode, but it doesn't really get off the ground.
Right.
Feels like they run out the clock on every episode where you didn't do anything.
Yeah, the buzzer sounds and it's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. And remember, they were taking weeks to get to each one.
Yeah, they did that thing where people were, they would be like, oh, we have a couple more weeks, we have to make this, and then they would release the most mid episode ever. Yeah,
ooh, let's wait for it, and it's the most mid fucking thing. And it was 10 episodes, so as a result, this thing went on for half a year. It feels like
it does. It feels
on and on and on. So here's some sliminess. Suddenly, it's not season 27 anymore. Season 27 was 5 episodes. Very suddenly, during this run of 10, it becomes season 28.
Why?
Who knows? But the theory is that it's probably, these guys have not been very good with their contracts compliance.
Deals, because they got in trouble with the special thing, right? Because regular episodes were supposed to go to HBO Max, and then the specials were supposed to go to Paramount Plus, but then they started calling the specials seasons, and I remember all that nonsense.
I mean, another theory was that they want the 30th season to land on a certain year or something. Oh, they want the 30th season to be in their 30th year. I think that's what it is.
You're thinking about you're prioritizing stupid things.
Well, I'm also kind of what's a season anyway? What even is a season? Okay, so season 28, this one's called Twisted Christian. So this was the 6-7 one. And it's Peter Thiel. Again, it's these deep cut. Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, just calling it the 6-7 one just to begin with. It's like we're doing Labubu's, we're doing 6-7, we're doing.
So it's like Peter Thiel's it's obsessed with the Antichrist and like this kind of, cryptic stuff. And so Cartman keeps laughing about 6-7. And so he like wants to know what does it mean and insists on finding out what 6-7 means. And he becomes like an exorcist. He's like the exorcist and goes to like Cartman's house while he's like vomiting green and saying and like making everything about 6-7. And then PC Principal has become like a Christian, but he's like a trashy machismo aggressive Christian, and he dates like a big titted bimbo with like plastic surgery, or Strong Woman, who you might remember from past seasons. She is now that. She's like a big titted, collagen lipped Christian, and they're trying to hook up Jesus with like another kind of like plastic surgery gross woman, and then Jesus gives in and he becomes kind of like a power Christian, like a trashy kind of like motorcyclist. That's the joke.
I got nothing.
The woman in the hat was supposed to be Melania, and it's supposed to be she's kind of like a specter, and she's kind of like in one of those big hats of hers, and she's just like standing kind of, it's like The Shining or something, where you keep seeing this like image in the White House. And so that, because they hadn't talked about like the president's wife, and he's obviously cheating on her, and so they keep like, I don't know, that's the joke. And that's the crypto one I mentioned. And then Sora Not Sorry, so another fucking AI one.
Wow.
Right. Everybody's making Sora 2 videos to kind of mock one another. And so one of the jokes was like when Sora 2 first came out, people were making fake South Park episodes. They were like not good, but they were very impressive technologically, because it like was kind of a Trey Parker-esque voice, and the animation was halfway decent. You're like, oh, you could kind of imagine like getting pretty far with this.
Here's the deal, okay? I buy every single John Ben's rookie card on the planet. He's the #1 pickleball player, total piece. Then you guys buy in, drive the price up, and boom, we all get rich.
They were doing kind of Sora. I think they probably used Sora to generate some like Cartman moments. And so Peter Thiel he still has Cartman in custody.
We're still talking about Peter Thiel.
Oh, dude.
I think having season-long arcs, I think that's ruined South Park.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Like, I think just go back to standalone episodes, little stories, occasionally just have the boys fucking around and not like doing political horse shit or whatever.
Like, what's a great episode of South Park? The Death of Eric Cartman. Do you remember this one? He eats all the skin off of all the KFC, and they're so sad and they're so pissed off at him for doing that they decide to just ignore him. And so he thinks he's dead. He comes to the conclusion that he must be like a ghost. Butters is the only one that is willing to speak to him. So he thinks Butters is like, a wunderkind who can see the dead. And so he keeps trying to like make it right and kind of like get his past sins forgiven. And he goes going, well, I think I can finally go to heaven. Goodbye, Butters. Goodbye. He keeps doing that. He's like, this little boy and his ghost pal are going to save, there's like some hostage situation with guns and grown-ups and stuff. And Cartman like comes in the room and he's going, boo, with bells and shit. And they're like, I'm so confused. What's going on? Man, it like leads to their arrest. Like,
That's awesome.
That's great, South Park.
Whatever this is, like, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like lazy, just lazy.
There's 2 more. There was Turkey Trot, which is their Thanksgiving. It's like they're going to have the South Park Thanksgiving 5K. There's 2 things that happen in that one. One is that Saudi Arabia is the main funder of the race because they're throwing money around. And the other thing is that Cartman wants to apply race science to the race. So he wants to get Token to run the race for him or something. It goes nowhere, dude. It's like and Peter Hegseth shows up in this one. And he and Kirsty Noem are fighting over, they're committing war crimes and stuff. And yeah. So you got Donald Jr., and you got Hegseth, and Pam Bondi, and Peter Thiel.
What the fuck?
The whole gang's there, dude.
It's like, I don't care. I don't care.
Imagine like, oh my God. Like,
it's like the most retarded Saturday Night Live sketches. The worst Saturday Night Live sketches. That's what it feels like.
It's getting there. Yeah.
It's like when Saturday Night Live dresses up like a woman, like Matt Gaetz or something, be like, I'm going to be Matt Gaetz. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer. This is exactly what it feels like.
Oh, goodness. I mean, do you think that like Americans want to like go to their South Park satire and it's just the whole Trump administration every episode? Like, is that what people want? Like 80% of every episode, like, is not the boys, but is like these fake Trump characters now.
Don't mind like an occasional satire of these things because they're in power. You should be taking down people in power, but it just feels like I said, like SNL. We have like a deadline. We're just trying to like. I don't know, we're just running out the clock. We know like the news is talking about these people, but we're doing it in the laziest way ever. It just doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel funny. It doesn't feel like the classic South Park. So I don't know.
You know what I don't like about it, and this is where I bet I agree with a lot of people. You can't take this level of interest in Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem unless you yourself are kind of addicted to the news. There's a little bit of like, okay, these guys must be watching a lot of news right now. One of the things that always attracted me to South Park was having a little bit of like political distance. And like, this is not political distance. This is like nose up to the TV, watching like CNN and whatever. This is tuning into a lot of news. Like Nina's not very political, and she's like, I don't know any of these fucking people. Like, what is this episode?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like, it's like, do I have to like read a bunch of Twitter fights or something to understand this? Like, what do I?
Like the Charlie Kirk thing just went away. Like that just didn't. They did it the once, and like obviously the guy died, but I felt like they never really like gave him a good roast in the first place.
Yeah, it was like a roast that was not well done. I mean, and Charlie at the time he was like, oh, I saw the episode, I thought it was funny, and he talked about it. But
so see, I hesitate to say episode 10. Season 28, episode 5 was some kind of fucking Christmas chaos. I don't even know what happened in it. I was like, that was the worst episode of South Park I've ever seen in my life. That was a terrible piece of shit episode of South Park. And it really concerns me because, well, I mean, it is what it is. We all time, as Rocky Balboa once said, time is undefeated. This pretty much tells you that they're done. I mean, unfortunately, like, I hate to say it, I love these guys. I mean, they've shaped me creatively, but I don't think like next season we're going to be totally different and really funny, especially if the spirit of the thing is like, whatever you found least funny, we'll do more of. Like, okay, well, good luck with that $1.5 billion that you're trying to make back. Cause I don't know what happened to the ratings. Maybe they stay. I mean, one thing about some of these shows, like, your Bob's Burgers and your Impractical Jokers, and like some of these like flagship shows that show up on channels, they can't, Family Guy, they can't lose. Like they just always get ratings because it's like comfort viewing for people.
Yeah, and somebody was, because we were talking about The Simpsons, and it's like, oh well, actually a lot of this numbers come from international because people love Simpsons internationally, and it gets syndicated internationally, and then they do deals because most of the international audience actually only likes the first 10 seasons too. But to get those syndicated, you have to buy the new seasons too. So there's like all these deals. So
imagine like sleepwalking through making a Simpsons episode.
Oh, remember that clip I showed you of like Marge, who's like in Homer, they like see something on Bart's tablet, and like the way they're moving is so weird, and then Marge's voice is so it's bad. It's not good.
It over. Innocence gone. He's gonna grow up to be an incel or a sexist jerk or a manosphere guru.
And not, it's age comes for us all, but it's just sad. It's just like, and the animation's off, and she's like talking about the manosphere and all this other stuff. I'm like,
yeah, like, well, the manosphere.
I'm like,
he's an incel.
It's like, it's like 2017. It just feels like it's dated.
I maybe I'm totally off here. I have I think I haven't seen it in years. I think it's possible that Family Guy is still funny. It's possible.
I mean, because the way it's structured, it has to have at least some funny segments. I've seen like people share on Twitter. There's funny segments. I don't think there's been anything as weird and off-putting as the Marge Simpson, like dancing around.
Like I thought Ted was so funny. Like I would love another season of Ted. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, that was some of the best comedy I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I've rewatched that whole season like several times. I really like, and I didn't even like the movies all that much. I thought they were a little derpy.
He's a perfect fighter. Ain't nobody ever better.
So how'd you beat him?
Time beat him. Time, takes everybody out. It's undefeated.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.